Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked back at a toxic relationship, a friendship, a romance, a family dynamic, and asked yourself, why me? Why did this person target me? Was it something I did? Was it my personality? Was it just bad luck? Here is the hard truth. It was not random. It was not bad luck. Narcissists do not choose their victims by accident. They are skilled at reading people. They look for very specific qualities that most people consider strengths. And when they find those qualities in you, they see an opportunity. Today, we are going to break this all down. We are going to talk about exactly how narcissists select their targets, what they look for, what the warning signs are, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. Stay with me until the end, because the last warning sign is the one most people never see coming. Let us get into it. Before we talk about victims, we need to understand something important about how a narcissist sees the world. A narcissist does not think about relationships the way you and I do. We enter relationships looking for connection, for love, for friendship, for support. A narcissist enters relationships looking for supply. That word, supply, is important. Narcissistic supply is the emotional fuel that feeds a narcissist's ego. It can be admiration, attention, control, or even fear. Without this supply, a narcissist feels empty, unstable, and that makes them very motivated to find new sources of it. So when a narcissist meets someone new, they are not asking, is this person kind? Or will we be good for each other? They are asking, can this person give me what I need? And how long can I keep it going? This is not love. This is not friendship. This is a transaction, and only one person knows it is happening. Now here's where it gets personal. Narcissists are not targeting weak people. They are not hunting for people who are broken or foolish. In fact, research and clinical experience consistently show the opposite. Narcissists often target people who are emotionally intelligent, generous, and deeply empathetic. Why? Because those are the people who give the most supply. Those are the people who try hardest to understand, to fix, to stay. Those are the people a narcissist can extract the most from. That means being a good person, a kind, caring, giving person, can actually make you more vulnerable to a narcissist's manipulation. Let that sit for a moment. Now let us talk about the specific signs they look for, the profile they are searching for. And I want you to listen carefully because you might recognize yourself in this. The number one quality narcissists look for is high empathy. Empathy is a beautiful human quality. It means you feel what others feel. When someone is hurting, you feel that pain with them. When someone is happy, their joy brightens your day. Empathy is the foundation of real human connection. But for a narcissist, empathy is a resource, and people with high empathy are extremely valuable to them. Here is how it works. Narcissists, especially in the early stages, will test your empathy. They will share a sad story. They will present themselves as misunderstood, unloved, or deeply wounded by others. And if you are an empathetic person, your instinct is to say, I understand, I believe you, I want to help. That response is gold to a narcissist. It tells them you will stay through the hard times. It tells them you will give them the benefit of the doubt. It tells them that when they hurt you, and they will, you will find a way to forgive them. Think about someone in your past who pulled at your heartstrings very early in the relationship. Someone who had a painful backstory that made you want to be their safe person. Someone you immediately wanted to protect or heal. Now ask yourself, did that person eventually become someone who used your kindness against you? I am not saying every person who shares pain is a narcissist. Of course not. But narcissists know that a sob story is one of the fastest ways to get access to a highly empathetic person. Watch for this. Someone who shares very deep, very dramatic personal pain very early in a relationship, before trust has been built slowly and naturally, might be testing your empathy level. They want to see how much you respond, how much you lean in. If you feel an unusually strong pull to rescue or protect someone you barely know, pause, take a breath, let time do its work. Real connection is built slowly. The second quality narcissists look for is low self-worth, or more specifically, people who carry a deep need for external validation. Now, I want to be very careful here. I am not saying people with low self-esteem are weak or foolish, not at all. Many deeply accomplished, wonderful people struggle with self-doubt. It is one of the most human experiences there is. But self-doubt creates a specific kind of vulnerability to narcissists, and here is why. Narcissists use a tactic called love bombing in the beginning of a relationship. They shower their target with attention, praise, and affection. They make you feel special, chosen, seen. They tell you things like, "You are different from everyone else I have met," or "I have never connected with anyone the way I connect with you." For someone who has been longing to feel valued, who maybe grew up hearing they were not good enough, or who has been in relationships where they were taken for granted, this kind of attention feels like finally coming home. And that is exactly what the narcissist is counting on. When your sense of worth comes from inside you, someone withdrawing their approval feels uncomfortable, but you survive it. You know your value does not disappear because someone is having a bad day. But when your sense of worth comes primarily from how others treat you, the narcissist holds enormous power. Because when they give you attention, you feel wonderful. And when they take it away, which they will, you will do almost anything to get it back. This is the cycle. Love bombing, withdrawal, effort from the target to win back approval, more withdrawal. The emotional roller coaster that narcissists are famous for creating. Protecting yourself starts with honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, how do I feel about myself when no one is telling me I'm doing well? Can I sit in my own company and feel at peace? Building your internal sense of worth is not just good personal development. It is one of the most powerful protections against narcissistic manipulation. Warning sign number 3 is strong loyalty combined with an extraordinary capacity to forgive. Again, these are beautiful qualities. The world needs more loyal people. The world needs more forgiveness. But in the context of a narcissistic relationship, these qualities become chains. Here is what narcissists understand that we sometimes miss. If someone will forgive anything and stay no matter what, there's very little consequence for bad behavior. Think about it this way. If you are someone who believes in standing by people, who feels guilty when you think about leaving, who tells yourself, but they really do love me underneath all of this, a narcissist will figure this out, and they will test it. The testing often happens gradually. They cross a boundary. You express hurt. They apologize, sometimes brilliantly, with tears and promises and remorse that seems completely genuine. You forgive. Things get better. And then slowly the boundary gets pushed again. Each cycle teaches the narcissist one more thing, that you will stay, that your forgiveness has no limit, that they can keep doing this. I want to say something that might be uncomfortable. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It does not obligate you to stay in a situation that is hurting you. Forgiving someone and continuing to let them have access to your life are two different things. You can forgive someone and still choose to walk away. You can wish someone well and still protect your own peace. That is not betrayal. That is wisdom. Narcissists target people who do not understand this distinction. They want someone who equates forgiveness with staying. Someone for whom leaving feels like abandonment. Someone who will endure almost any treatment rather than break their loyalty. If you recognize yourself here, know that your loyalty is not the problem. What you need is to redirect that loyalty toward people who deserve it. Warning sign number 4 is the people-pleasing pattern. People pleasers are some of the most generous, thoughtful, and considerate people you will ever meet. They anticipate what others need. They go out of their way to make things smooth. They feel deeply uncomfortable when others are upset, especially if they think they might be the cause. Narcissists love people pleasers. Here is why. A people pleaser, by nature, will prioritize the other person's comfort over their own needs. They will sacrifice their time, their energy, their wants, their voice. And when a narcissist is unhappy, which happens frequently because narcissists are rarely satisfied, a people pleaser will immediately try to fix it, even if they did nothing wrong. This is crucial. Narcissists often use manufactured anger or disappointment to control people pleasers. They do not even need to have a real complaint. They just need to seem unhappy, and a people pleaser will rush to smooth things over. Have you ever spent hours or days trying to figure out what you did to upset someone when deep down you knew you had not done anything wrong? That is the people pleaser pattern being exploited. The narcissist is not actually upset about what you did. They are using the appearance of being upset to keep you off balance, to keep you focused on their needs, and to make you feel like you are always slightly failing them. People pleasers often grew up in environments where love felt conditional. Maybe approval was given when you were good, quiet, helpful, or performed well, and withdrawn when you made mistakes or expressed needs. So you learned early, keep others happy and you will be safe. That lesson made sense in that environment. But you are not a child anymore. And a relationship where you must constantly perform to earn someone's basic kindness is not a real relationship. It is a performance. One of the most powerful things a people pleaser can learn to say is, "I understand you are upset, and I am okay with you being upset." That single shift removes the narcissist's most reliable lever of control. Warning sign number 5 is being in a period of vulnerability or major life transition. Narcissists are extremely skilled at identifying when someone is going through a difficult time. A breakup, a divorce, the loss of a job, a move to a new city, the death of a loved one, or a period of low confidence. These moments, as painful as they are, create openings. When we are hurting, our defenses are lower. We are more likely to accept help from strangers. We are more likely to attach quickly to someone who shows us warmth. We are more likely to overlook red flags because we are focused on surviving the current pain. A narcissist entering your life during a vulnerable period can feel like a miracle. They seem to see you when no one else does. They offer stability, attention, and affection at exactly the moment you need it most. But here is what is happening. They are not just offering love. They are building dependency. They are positioning themselves as the solution to your pain, which means as long as you are in pain, you need them. I want to pause here and say something to anyone watching this who is in a hard season right now. There is nothing wrong with you for needing support. There is nothing wrong with you for wanting connection during a painful time. That is a completely human need. But please, be careful about who you let in when your walls are down. Real love does not rush. Real love gives you time and space. Real love does not create urgency or intensity designed to make you attach before you have had a chance to truly see who you are attaching to. A person who appears in your most vulnerable moment and quickly becomes your whole world should be looked at carefully, not immediately. Time is your best protection. Anyone who is genuinely good for you will still be good for you 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. There is no rush. Warning sign number 6 is having a strong, almost unshakable desire to see the good in people. This is one of the most beautiful qualities a person can have. It means you believe in redemption. You believe people can change. You believe that underneath difficult behavior, there is a real human being worth knowing. And that belief, a narcissist will use it to stay in your life long past the point where it is healthy. Here is what they rely on. Narcissists are not always difficult. In fact, many of them are extraordinarily charming, funny, generous, and warm. Some of the time, the kindness is real, the laughter is real. The good moments genuinely happen, and if you are someone who focuses on a person's best qualities, you will hold on to those good moments. You will say, but when they are good, they are so good. You will believe the good version is the real person, and the hurtful version is just a temporary problem to work through. This is the trap. With a narcissist, consistency over time tells you more truth than the best moments. Anyone can be wonderful sometimes. The question is, what does this person look like when they are under stress? When they do not get what they want? When you express a need that inconveniences them? Stop evaluating people by their best behavior. Start evaluating people by their pattern of behavior, especially how they treat you when it costs them something. A truly good person is still respectful when they are frustrated. They are still kind when it is inconvenient. They can say I was wrong without drama or retaliation. If you notice that someone's behavior is wildly inconsistent, saint one day, cruel the next, that inconsistency itself is information. It is not evidence that the relationship just needs more work. It is evidence that something is fundamentally off. Your desire to see the good in people is not wrong, but it must be balanced with an equally strong commitment to see people clearly. Now that we have covered the 6 qualities narcissists look for, let us talk about how they actually select their targets, because it does not happen randomly. Stage 1 is observation. Narcissists are extremely observant in social settings. They watch how people respond to others. They notice who is helpful, who is attentive, who is seeking connection, who appears uncertain of themselves. They are essentially scanning for the profile we just described. Stage 2 is testing. Once they have someone in their sights, they test. They might share a vulnerable story to see how you respond. They might arrive late to see if you complain or make excuses for them. They might make a slightly inappropriate comment to see if you set a boundary or laugh it off. Each test gives them information about how much you will accept. Stage 3 is mirroring. This is where the narcissist becomes your perfect person. They reflect your values, your dreams, your sense of humor back at you. They seem to want exactly what you want. They say the things you have always wanted to hear. This is not connection. This is a performance built on the information you gave them. Stage 4 is acceleration. Things move fast. Feelings escalate quickly. The narcissist creates intensity designed to manufacture attachment before your rational mind has time to evaluate what is actually happening. This is love bombing at full force. Stage 5 is locking in. Once the narcissist feels you are emotionally attached, and especially once they have introduced you to their world, made you feel responsible for their well-being, or created conflict that isolates you from other support systems, the mask begins to slip. Because now they feel secure that you are not going anywhere. If any of these stages sound familiar, I want you to know, recognizing the pattern is powerful. You are not naive for having been targeted. You were a person with beautiful qualities, and those qualities were exploited by someone who knew how to use them. That is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to protect yourself going forward. And now you have more tools to do that. So what do you actually do with all of this information? Let me give you some very practical steps. First, slow down. Healthy relationships do not require urgency. If someone is pushing you to commit quickly, to share deeply very fast, to make them a priority before trust has been earned, notice that. Love that is real will not disappear if you take your time. Second, watch behavior over time, not words in the moment. Anyone can say the right things. Pay attention to what people consistently do over months, not what they say in the early exciting phase of connection. Third, trust your discomfort. If something feels off, do not explain it away. Your nervous system is giving you information. You do not need to be able to name the problem in order to take it seriously. Something feels wrong is a valid reason to proceed with caution. Fourth, maintain your outside support system. Narcissists typically try to isolate their targets because outside perspectives make manipulation harder. Hold on to your friendships. Keep your routines. If someone in your life consistently makes you choose between them and everyone else, that is a serious warning sign. Fifth, work on your own sense of worth. This is the deep work. The more grounded you are in your own value, independent of what anyone else says about you, the harder it is for a manipulator to gain leverage over you. Therapy, journaling, honest self-reflection, and surrounding yourself with people who love you for who you are. These are powerful investments in your own protection. And sixth, know that healing is possible. If you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, the aftermath can feel devastating. Confusion, grief, self-doubt, sometimes a complete loss of your sense of reality. That is normal. It is part of what this kind of relationship does. But people heal from this. People come out the other side more self-aware, more boundaried, more deeply themselves than before. The experience does not have to define you. It can actually refine you if you are willing to do the work. Let me bring this home. If you watch this entire video, I want you to leave with this. Being targeted by a narcissist is not a sign of weakness. It is often a sign of strength. Strength that was exploited by someone who did not deserve it. The empathy, the loyalty, the kindness, the ability to see the best in people. Those are not your flaws. They are your gifts. And the answer is not to become hard or closed or suspicious of everyone you meet. The answer is to become wise, to build boundaries, to slow down, to know your own worth, to stop giving infinite grace to people who have not earned it. You deserve relationships that feel safe, consistent, real, where you do not have to earn your place every single day, where you can simply be yourself and know that is enough. That kind of relationship starts with you knowing that you are enough, even before anyone tells you so. If this video helped you, or if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it with them. It might reach someone at exactly the right moment. If you want to go deeper on topics like this, manipulation tactics, how to rebuild after toxic relationships, how to strengthen your boundaries, subscribe and turn on notifications. We cover all of it here. Take care of yourself. I will see you in the next one.